Good morning from Sitka.
Good morning.
I've never been here before. Have you, Mom?
No.
It is 7 o'clock in the morning. The ship, all the short time was supposed to be 7 o'clock. They actually gave us the all clear to disembark at 6:50.
Yeah.
So everybody's starting to get off and walk,
To town.
Well, you don't have to walk to town. It's like 5 miles to walk to town. I'm sure you could do it. It's not on my bingo card for today. We actually have a free shuttle reservation. So there is a Sitka Sound shuttle, and you have to make reservations for the time you're going to get on the shuttle, but you don't have to pay for it. So it's a free shuttle. You just have to make reservations for the time.
They just want to know what time.
Yeah, to get on the ship, or on the shuttle to go from the ship to town, and on the shuttle to go from town back to the ship. So we did that last night. We got this little piece of paper from the ship overnight, telling us, hey,
you have to do this.
There's a shuttle. It would be nice if they had told us.
Or if it was on the app.
Yeah, because it's not communicated anywhere, not on a Princess Patter. I mean, if you missed this, or if your room steward didn't put this under your door, you're gonna be confused today. So, because I didn't know about it until I read something on the Cruise Critic forum. Yeah. And I even made a video talking about Sitka, and I couldn't find anything, or I didn't find anything on this before I made that video. So I didn't talk about it in that video, and now I feel stupid. It's fine.
Well, you learn as you go.
That's right.
That's what research is. It's searching again. It's research.
We're here, so we get to explore. We're going to take you along with us for the day. We've got an excursion booked, but Mom and I are going to go to town a little early and do some exploring around town, see what we can see. We are off the ship. Ooh, crab and chowder. So the shuttle to downtown, the queue is marked very clearly, which is nice. Oh, and they have a separate mobility shuttle line. Alright, here's the shuttle bus that we got off of. It's like a school bus on the inside. The bus ride was scenic, but the windows were all foggy, so we couldn't really see much of anything. But she did tell us the bears are very active. They're coming out of hibernation. The skunk, she called it skunk squash. I've heard it called skunk cabbage before.
Yeah.
But it's like a yellow plant, or like a yellow flower, green plant with yellow flowers. But it is so pretty here. Look how pretty this is. Like the low clouds over here. Mom and I are looking for a place for breakfast. I think she's found one.
Yeah.
You ready to lead the way?
Yep. Let's go. Let's do it.
And I just noticed just past the bus, behind Mom's head, is the tippy top of the St. Michael's Cathedral. So there's the bus we got off of. They drop you off right at the Sitka History Museum, which is right over here. I think it doubles as the convention center for the area, because you can vote here. Over here is the Sitka Public Library. And then, like I said, there's the St. Michael's Cathedral. So here's the historic cathedral. You can see the weather today is not the greatest. It's not currently raining.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. The Raptor Cafe is right next to the bookstore. And there's another look at the cathedral. Oh, I like that too. I like that one. And I like this one too. Okay, you're friendly. Thank you. Those look good too. I won't want to eat one. They look good, don't they? Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't show our breakfast because we ate it too fast. But Mom had a raspberry thumbprint, and I had a piece of blackberry strawberry pie, and they were both really, really good. And we're having raspberry lattes, and they are also really very, very good. So right over here is the Back Door Cafe. And it's probably called the Back Door Cafe because it is the back door to the bookstore, which is down here on the corner. And I have to say, the pie was amazing. The crust was really good. No one's crust is as good as Mom's crust, but this one to me was a close second. And the coffee was fantastic. So that was a really, really, really good experience for breakfast. Just across the street is this really pretty garden. Lots of tulips blooming everywhere and all the rest of it, but they're so pretty. And the daffodils back here. Here, I'll show you. So pretty. So, we're gonna walk down the street just a little bit because I think we're really close to the Baranof Castle State Historic Site. And I'd like to see that today. Since our tour starts at 11 and it doesn't end until 2:45 or 3, it kind of limits our time in town and it kind of limits the things we're able to do today. So that's why Mom and I came to town a little early, because I would like to explore a little bit of Sitka while we have the opportunity. So we just left the Russian American company and the stuff in there was incredible. It's starting to rain and we just walked down this random alley, but we're looking at the Castle Hill Trail. So we're gonna go up to the top of the Baranof Castle Hill Point, whatever, and see what we can see from there. I do think there is an accessible way to the top, but we're gonna take this because I think it looks kind of pretty. We just need to be on the lookout for bears because we've been warned.
They're out. They're waking up.
They're awake and they're hungry. I bet this is the accessible ramp. There. And there's a parking lot. We kind of came at it from behind. So it's definitely a climb to get up here. Up and up and up. But there's the cathedral spire over there. And the bookstore we went to is down in there somewhere. And this was the site of the American flag raising when America bought Alaska from Russia. This was the site. This is where it happened. We found spruce tips. We learned all about these in Skagway.
You kind of peel this off there, and there's the spruce tip.
That is so cool. Because it's, you know, the new bud for the end of the tree branch, right?
And if you just pluck a couple of those out of there,
if you kind of smell them or chew on them, they taste like that spruce tip ale we got in Skagway.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then I think that with the pink, I think these are raspberry bushes here. So this would be prime bear country. More spruce tips here. This is cool.
And the bus driver warned us several times that the bear are waking up.
Yeah. Okay, so the free shuttle to get into town. And I want to talk about this because the website is kind of confusing. For the shuttle, it makes you think that you have to have a reservation. They never looked at a barcode or an email. They didn't ask us if we had a reservation. They just loaded up the bus.
Well, and it might be because I don't think there's a lot of people in town today.
I think it's just the one ship. I think it's just us. So that was nice. And I was not at all expecting any kind of like guided tour on the free shuttle, but she was telling us all about like skunk squash and how it's a natural laxative for the bears, who are, by the way, waking up, so be careful. And she kind of showed us some things, and I thought, this is really nice. Really cool that she's working on a free shuttle and she's taking the time to teach us some things about the place where she lives. I appreciated that. But Mom and I are going to head back to a gift shop. I don't know that we're going to get a whole lot of time to shop after the excursion, so we want to do our shopping before our excursion, because like I keep saying, we've got a shorter day in town today. So here's that wall mural down the alley. So we came down there. That's how we got up to the top of the Castle State Historic Site. And they've got a really cool wall mural with a whale on it. There's an eagle. Well, SpongeBob is on here too, and Squidward. I didn't see Patrick. There's Dory. That's funny. There's Gary, and there's Squidward. But I want to show you where this lets out at. So there's a pharmacy here, and then the Sitka Fur Gallery here. We were successful in our shopping endeavor, and then we came back to the drop-off point for the shuttle bus. And I think we're going to check this out because I think this is a museum. We've got a little over an hour before we need to meet for our short excursion. So we're standing here outside the, is this the convention center?
The library.
Yeah, the library's over here to the right. And I'm looking at this house. And we've just watched the episode of the Love Boat where Julie ran up to that guy and was like, I love you. Let's get married. And he's like, I'm married someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think this house, this house looks like the house from that episode. Now, I don't know if that's true or not.
That episode has baby Mark Hamill in it.
I don't even know if it was actually filmed here on site or not, but I think that house looks like the house from that episode. Then over here they've got a really cool canoe boat. Let's read the plaque and see what it says.
Ceremony canoe.
Look who joined us. It's Emma.
Hi.
She took a later shuttle bus than we did. Mom and I have walked back. We kind of won. We found things that Mom and I both liked enough to purchase. Then we came here to, it's Centennial Hall, right?
Yeah, that's what the locals call it.
Yeah, Centennial Hall.
The bus driver, and that's like the name that's on the top, but the bus driver said that on like cruise maps that they give out to tourists, sometimes it'll be called like the convention center or something.
That makes me feel better because that's what I've been calling it all morning, but that's not what's on the building. They've got a really nice restroom facility here with lots of stalls, which is great. It's almost like they knew the cruise passengers were going to be using this area. So we're thinking about walking back to that street because Emma wants to do a little shopping. I sent her some pictures from one of those shops and she's like, that stuff looks really pretty. I'm like, yeah, I think so too. So I think we're gonna head back out, walk back up that street, do a little shopping for Emma, and be back in time to meet for our tour in 1 hour because it's 9:59 a.m. and we have to meet at 11. So really good timing, really. We came back to do some more shopping for Emma. She's really looking for something carved, and she loves these bookends over here. She just wants to make sure they were made in Alaska. by an Alaskan artist, because that's important to her.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Alaska. I want to support Alaskan artists.
Yeah. Not one of these machine carved soapstones that was made in Peru or something.
Yeah.
As cool as all these things are, it's really frustrating that, you know, anything that's affordable, $40, is made in China. Those bookends were made in Arizona.
Yeah.
Which is not
what I wanted.
Yeah. Emma liked the sweatshirt that I bought enough that she bought one for herself. And now we're headed back to Centennial Hall.
Yes.
25 minutes to spare. But just walking around, I found some forget-me-nots. These are the Alaskan state flower. And they're like teeny tiny little blue flowers with yellow. I love the color variation. And like the blue and the purple. Gosh, they're so pretty. Now I didn't time it or clock it to see how far it is to walk from here to the church, but that's it right there. It's really not far. It's like 1 block this way and 1 block that way and you're there. So it's really not far. So it's actually raining hard enough. I'm gonna switch over to my phone camera for the rest of the day that we're in Sitka. There's a bunch of tours here in front of the Centennial Hall. But since we booked through Princess, we looked for this guy with the Princess bag. He took our tickets and gave us buttons. Here's the button. And we're gonna be on bus 78, which she said is gonna pull up right over here. So we're in a big group of people today. I'm totally fine with that. We're gonna go to the Raptor Center, Fortress of the Bears, and some kind of park. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing today, but I'm very excited because I know for sure we're gonna get to see some bears today at the Fortress of the Bear. Very excited about that. We made it on the bus for a tour. They actually put us on the wrong bus at first, but we're on the right bus now.
Now, land area wise, folks, we are in the largest city in America today. Everything you see around you is city property. The entire island we're on is city property. Baranof Island, 100 miles long. 5 miles wide, that is wide as dirt.
We made it to the Alaska Raptor Center. He's gonna pick us up at 12:15, so we have less than an hour here.
About some of the things you can see here in this area. Hi. So over on this wall, we have some really cool silhouettes. So here we've got our eagles, ospreys, hawks, and falcons. And then over on that back wall, we've got all of our owl species. These are going to be all Alaskan native raptor species that we have here in the state, some of which you will be able to meet here at the center today.
All right, folks, so welcome into the Bald Eagle Flight Training Center. The mission of the Alaska Raptor Center is to promote and enhance wild populations of raptors and other avian species through rehabilitation, education, and research. Our work began in 1980 as a volunteer-run grassroots to these large eagles and everything in between. Though since you are at the Raptor Center, you might be wondering what a raptor is. A raptor is a bird of prey, a meat-eating bird that hunts for its food. There are 3 main characteristics that all raptors share: forward-facing eyes used for hunting, a hooked curved beak, and strong, powerful talons. When you visit a zoo, you see animals that will always be in captivity and will never return to the wild. But here in the Flight Center, you can actually watch these bald eagles regaining their flight skills before they return to nature.
We got to watch a 3-minute video watching them basically capture an eagle that needed rescue and rehabilitation. They gave the eagle rehabilitation and then we got to watch them release that eagle, and I thought that was really cool. The gift shop is right in here and all the proceeds go to the Alaska Raptor Center. And she said these resident eagles have an open-air aviary because they cannot fly. So they will never be released back into the wild because they simply cannot fly. But the eagles that we saw inside are currently under rehab And once they're able to fly again and their injuries are healed, they will be released back into the wild. I think these guys are just so pretty. And if you're curious, those plants over there with the yellow flower, that's what we were told that's called the skunk cabbage or skunk squash. And that's what the bears eat when they come out of hibernation. And it acts as a natural laxative. There's another eagle back here too. Here's another one right over here. This one's a golden eagle, not a bald eagle. And how pretty is that waterfall in the back too? Oh, hi.
Bad news.
What's the bad news?
I'm hungry.
Me too. So when we got dropped off right up there on the other side of that sign, and we went inside first and watched the video. We came out of these doors over here where it says gift shop. And all of this over here is the open air aviary. But there's a bunch of other habitats for the birds that are still able to fly. So we can check out all of these over here. Hi. So this is called the Raptor Weathering Yard. And I guess all the raptors take turns hanging out outside. So we don't really know on any given day who we're going to be able to see. So let's just take a look around. I don't think there's anybody in here today. Oh. This space was once our raptor weathering yard. But thanks to a major upgrade, Raptors invited to have something even better. Cool. So this is going to be an enrichment area. First up is the great gray owl, and yes, my goodness, what a large face you have. What a pretty bird. Next to the great gray owl is another owl. This is the great horned owl. You can see him right up here. Hi. Northern goshawk. Not visible from where we are. Oh, red-tailed hawk.
We got these back in Missouri.
It's a pretty bird. After this, we have a bald eagle nest replica. And I know these can be enormous and really, really heavy. Back up here by the abandoned weathering yard, we saw those birds over there. But up here is a snowy owl. If you've ever seen Harry Potter, this is what Hedwig looks like. Such a pretty bird. So this sign over here says that the bird is adjusting to their brand new enclosure and they want us to keep quiet. This is another red-tailed hawk right back here in the back. And it looks like they're going to start some bird training over here. So we may join them after checking out the little peregrine falcon in the back. Hi.
Yeah, that's right. He is ready. So this is River. River is one of our avian care specialists. And my name is Sophie, also an avian care specialist. River is starting a training session with Jake, one of our permanent raptors in residence. Jake is a male red-tailed hawk and is a human imprint, which means he was raised by humans and unfortunately can never be released because he's way too comfortable around people. So River's starting a different session, or another session right now, where essentially they are going to be asking different behaviors of Jake. And this is a really good example of positive reinforcement training and choice-based training. River is not forcing Jake to do anything. All they're doing is asking Jake with a virtual or a verbal cue, like raising the glove, tapping the glove, or something like step up. And they are expecting Jake to follow through with behavior. Obviously, we can't always, force these birds to do it. We can't force these birds to do it. And so if Jake doesn't want to participate, he lets us know that pretty quickly. And sometimes we might kind of work around that in a session, ask different things. But it's all about making him comfortable and seeing what he's willing to do with us in that moment. River's using the #1 best thing to pay Jake for his time, which is, what can you guys?
Food.
Food, that's right. River has a lot of delicious rat right now, which Jake is a big fan of.
Yummy.
And so you can see he's really pretty clearly motivated. River is asking him several different things right now. They're doing what are called flying to the gloves, stationing, and so what they're doing is they're asking Jake to come to fly to the glove. He's doing that. River is bridging, or letting the bird know that they've completed that behavior and food is on the way with a quick. And then from there, he is rewarded with a delicious little tidbit of rat in the glove. So he's flying to the glove, which is going to be phenomenal for exercise. All of our flighted ambassador birds need to make sure to maintain their flight muscles. But if we didn't intervene, they would basically spend about 80% of their life perching, which we know is true out in the wild. And so instead, we try to incorporate movement into their every single day routines. And River's doing this by cueing him to different stations, to different perches, and having him fly to that glove. Incorporating that movement, getting Jake moving around his enclosure, getting him comfortable. And it's really good for the relationship between the bird and the trainer as well. Because again, when you allow a bird to have choice, aka I'm asking you to do something, but if you're saying no, I have to kind of rework what I'm thinking I want you to do. And what that does is it allows Jake to have the utmost control over his environment, which allows him to be nice and healthy in his care under human care here. River just finished off that session by giving a big thank you to Jake, saying, okay, nice job for that work, thanks for working with me. He just sneezed. And so they gave him a delicious rat butt, which is his favorite. You guys can now watch him eat a delicious rat. Red-tailed hawks eat over 1,000 rodents per year out in the wild, so they make wonderful natural pest control. And so Jake, that's truly one of his favorite little treats. He's going to use his beautiful hooked curved beak to be able to bite into that rat leg or rat butt or whatever it may be, and he's going to tear off chunks and eat it.
Well, that was really cool. We got to watch him eat some rat. There's no eagle in here or in here, but there's one over there.
That's what they do.
Second stop
Governor
for
Brady
our
was
tour
advertising
today is
Alaska
at
as
the
a new
National
U.S.
Park.
territory.
And we're going to get to do like a 25-30 minute walk through the park, and we'll end up, he said, on the other side of the visitor center over there.
Because the forest
And they
was
have
starting
video
to
inside
grow
the visitor center
onto
down
the
here,
falls,
which is kind of cool.
and the falls
So
were starting to fall
we'll
apart.
check this out. Looks like they've got some native totem poles
the
here.
park became, well, this property became the national park.
If you're curious, here's a map of Sitka. We are at the National Historical Park here. Actually, we're right here. There's a lot of walking you could do out here. I have a feeling we're going to do a short loop. I can't say for sure, but that's my guess. There's a Sitka Sound Science Center just over that way. There's a Russian bishop's house. We've already been by the St. Michael's Cathedral. This is the cruise ship tender dock, but we didn't tender. Our cruise ship is actually way out that way. And here's the Baranof Castle State Historic Site. Well, here. I have managed to lose my group, so I'm going to try to catch up. Oh, they didn't go far. Active bears. Yeah, I believe it. Kind of protected from the rain in here, you know it? So it's 1 o'clock and we're back on the bus. We've got one more stop on our tour and it's the Fortress of the Bear. Are you enjoying it so far?
I'm liking it.
Me too. I like a guided tour when I don't have to like plan when we're gonna do something or how we're gonna do something. I don't have to
get there.
I don't have to know everything because somebody else is gonna kind of feed it to me. Yeah, and I don't have to Uber or drive or
Yeah, and they give us all those little nuances.
yeah. You know, it's nice because he lives here. He knows.
He knows.
And he used to teach
Fourth grade.
in Utqiagvik. I thought that was so cool that he shared that with us. So, anyway, one more stop. And we did learn he's going to take us not back to where he picked us up. He's going to take us all the way back to the ship. Perfect. It's time for bears. You see the eagle? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's sniffing at us. He does not look like he's a happy camper. That angry looking face.
So we've got a bear over there, and a bear over here, an eagle up there, and a bear down there. Is this cooler than you thought it was going to be? I know you're really worried about it. I think it's really cool. Because they actually use these bears to help test for like bear-proof trash cans. And I think that's really neat. Yeah, put them to work. Also, they don't get to live here for free.
I didn't know that because Alaska didn't have a release policy for...
Oh, he's standing up.
Oh, he's waving. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Look at those claws.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
God, they're so cuddly looking.
Do you need a manicure? Look at his cute little tummy.
Oh. He's hungry.
I don't know what that motion is. He was doing that earlier over on that rock over there.
I want to get up there so I could maul you.
I'd like to. No,
he's
just hungry. Put your
This guy doing?
neck in my mouth. What's up? There's another eagle up there in that tree.
It's the same one.
Oh, it is? He flew away.
He's being harassed by a raven too.
But we get to go outside now into the cold, but no glass in the way.
They are very greedy little bears and will definitely try to manipulate people for access to their keepers to get those things. These girls have eaten most of their grub for the day, but they do have a whole chicken waiting. Wow. How old are they? These two are 7 years old. They've been with us at the sanctuary since they were orphaned as 8-month-old. Oh, wow. They were shot and killed for breaking into a residential barn. She broke into a guy's barn, ripped the doors off the hinges, ate chickens, ducks, other feed and livestock inside, and was killed. Oh, Lord. Life and property, which is legal to kill a bear in the state in DLP like that. It does mean that our cubs were orphaned, and all they had learned is that we get food out of trash cans. So they don't have a legal rehab and release program for bears in the state simply because black and brown bears are so thriving in their wild populations. They do not need any human assistance at this time in terms of returning bears back to the wild. We're able to procure a few placements each year. We work with fisheries on that. We help network with keepers and sanctuaries and try to guide folks through the application process as best possible. Obviously, we'd like to see as many bears as possible. Another part of our programming here is an educational nonprofit is trying to reduce the number of cubs that are weird within the land.
I did not realize there were black bears and brown bears. But they've got 3 black bears in this tank over here. There's a black bear over here, and then 2 brown bears over here.
So it has to be
Fortunate side of that is that
And then, of course, our eagle friend up here in the tree.
Yeah.
Our time here at the Fortress of the Bears is coming to an end. Hop on our bus and head back to the ship. But this was really, really nice. Nicer than I imagined it would be. I had my doubts, and I know Emma did too. Our bus just dropped us off right back here at the cruise terminal. And inside this building, there's a bunch of shops, which is nice. And then I want to go into this locally owned shop over here. So we'll check it out, see what they've got. It's anything we can't live without. just really quickly, I want to talk about my medallion, because we were trying to get back on the ship, and my medallion wouldn't scan, which is the first time that's happened to me on this trip ever, because usually it recognizes, like, the door recognizes my medallion before it recognizes her or Emma. They have to, like, rub their medallion on the door to let them in.
You were recording. I thought you were practicing.
No, I'm talking to the camera. But my medallion, like, the door thing recognized me from, you know, far away. But I was trying to get back on the ship, and it wasn't registering. And he was like, maybe it's too close to your watch. I'm like, no, the watch literally died 30 minutes ago, so it's dead. So I took it up to guest services really quick, and it took me less than 5 minutes, and she has my medallion working. She said the battery was dead in it, so.
Yeah, cool.
My guess is they just changed the battery in the medallions, which I think is fine. You know, no big deal.
I have my shoes on.
It was our first time in Sitka. I had a good time. I'm glad we had a tour.
I am too. For the first time, going to a new town.
I want to be there with someone who knows what they're talking about and what they're looking at.
And this guy talked and talked and talked and talked.
He was really good at talking.
Was really talkative, and it was not all history of Sitka, so it wasn't really dry. It was actually like a perspective of somebody who lives there, and you know, he was not born there. I don't know that very many people are born here.
Yeah. Yeah, the first tour guide that we were supposed to have, it turned out that they put us on the wrong bus. But anyway, she told us there's only 4 ways to get to Sitka.
Yeah, she said 3, and I said swim, and she said, okay,
yeah.
4.
There's 4.
You can swim, you can get there on an airplane, you can get there on a boat, or you can get there by birth canal. And I thought, that's really kind of funny.
She said she took a boat, but 3 of her kids took the canal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, good for them.
Yeah.
So, you liked Sitka?
Yes, very much.
I know Emma was really, when we first started watching videos about Sitka, she was not excited about the Fortress of the Bear.
No. I was initially very worried because it's just like a gut instinct for me to be worried about places like that where the animals are, for lack of a better word, so accessible.
Yeah, it's not really... It's similar to their natural habitat, but not really like their natural habitat.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for the bears, but it does keep them from being euthanized.
Yeah, and I'm very glad that we went, first of all, because it's a great place for these bears, but secondly, because they do take care of these animals in a way that otherwise they would not be given another chance at life.
Right.
Yeah, the alternative to them being homed in this Fortress of the Bear Center is that they are killed.
Euthanized.
Yeah.
So what we learned is that this is the only facility like it in Alaska. The Fortress of the Bear is the only safe haven for bears like this to live out in captivity. So bear cubs, when they're orphaned because their mothers are killed via
Whatever
hunting,
reason.
hiking accident, or whatever.
One of them,
it
they
might
said
be,
the mom had gotten into the trash and eaten some indigestible...
toxic materials.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect it was a plastic milk jug. But whatever.
But so for whatever reason, when they become orphaned, because Alaska does not have a policy about rehabilitation and release for bears, these bear cubs, prior to this facility being built and licensed out through the state, they were euthanized. And the founder for this Fortress of the Bear used to be a hunter who made his living partially off of bear, but off of other things too. And he founded the facility because he thought it's just not right that they're euthanized.
Yeah.
And so learning that and learning how they have a sustainability partnership with all the grocery stores surrounding the Fortress of the Bear to have a zero waste policy, so for any food that goes past its overdue date that bears can safely eat in their natural habitat, they give it to the Fortress of the Bear.
So we saw that they had baby carrots and celery out there.
And just, fun stuff. And they do look happy. They don't look thin. They don't look stressed to, my unexperienced eye.
The turnoff for me was the environment that they're in. And so after getting there and learning the history, and some of the history of the center came from our bus
Tour
driver.
guide, yeah.
Yeah.
So for a brief period of time, Sitka tried to have a wood pulp manufacturing plant
Where they made paper.
as a way to employ some of the citizens of the area. And that he talked about the politics and everything that went behind it failing. But they had these humongous tanks for the wood pulp. And that's what this habitat is that they live in. So that's why
Right.
it looks like it does.
A big thing in Alaska is sustainability and multi-use items, including properties. And so this property was initially part of the wood pulp place, and then that failed, so they used it as a fish hatchery.
Yeah.
And then they don't use it for that anymore. So now they're going to use it for the Fortress of the Bear, and I think it's kind of cool. It feels to me a little small
For them.
but
There aren't like a whole huge total number of bears. Like in one enclosure, there's only 2. In in the other 2 enclosures, there's 3 in each of them. So
Yeah.
And some of them are siblings. And so they've
So
been
they're
with each other.
paired.
Yes, since birth, since
Yeah.
they were little, and lost their
And
their
they
mom.
are all in very special circumstances because they did come to the Fortress of the Bear as cubs, and this is all
They've
that
ever known.
They've ever known.
Yeah.
So they have specialists to try and mimic certain elements of wildlife behavior and enrich their life in order to make sure that, you know, they're getting proper interaction with their environment and proper socialization, so to speak.
And the crows are there yelling at them, and the eagle was watching over them.
yeah, I
Just
thought it was really
posing.
cool because we got a picture of a black bear with an eagle in the background, and the eagle is not part of the Fortress of the Bear.
No.
It's just naturally
There.
hanging out.
Yeah.
I swear he was there. The eagle was there, just like, take my picture.
Here I
Take
am.
my
I'm
picture.
gonna
You take a
pose.
picture of the bears. Take a picture of me.
Yeah.
Me. Because everybody was looking at the one tank, and he was over there with the brown bears. And then everybody moved over to the other side. He's like, okay, I'll sit over here on this tree now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see me.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about shopping, and then we'll get to lunch.
Okay.
I loved the shopping downtown by the Cathedral.
Yeah.
Shopping here at the port, like the cruise terminal, was disappointing to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the shopping at the Raptor Center or at the Bear Fortress.
Yeah, there was nothing at the Totem Park or Cultural Center, which, I mean, I kind of understand, but I kind of also don't, because that would be a great place to sell local artists' work.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they all have places that you can drop donations or QR
Yeah,
codes. So
right.
that-
Yeah.
That's
and that's
nice.
smart. That's good.
But as far as like souvenirs for me to take home, like another sweatshirt, because this one's
Yeah.
I got in Huna. I found a couple downtown at a shop that's like locally owned since 1984,
Yeah.
which I think is cool.
Emma got one just like Auburn's,
Yeah.
and I'm very happy with it. I really wanted one that said Sitka, but I didn't find any that I liked.
I found one I like, and I'll probably wear it tomorrow.
I'm glad
I'm
she
going to wear
likes
my
it.
Sitka one tomorrow when we're in Haines. All right, we're hungry.
We're gonna go eat.
Lunchtime. We'll take you with us.
Mmm.
All right, we're seated at our table here in our windows, and I got an Irish coffee because it's cold. I needed something warm, and look how pretty it is. Mom also got an Irish coffee, and Emma got hot chocolate. Mm-hmm. And here's our view. All aboard was 3:30, but we haven't started sailing away yet because it's just now 3:35.
Okay, so I got the pepperoni pizza.
And I got the New Yorker, and it's got olive oil with garlic. Yeah, yummy, yummy.
It's like we've never had these before because we don't get them every single day we come here. I got something different. This is the capriciosa, I think. It's got black olives and artichokes and mushrooms. All right, I know we just ate, but we're in the main dining room again for dinner. These are the appetizers. And then over here we've got the mains. The chicken cordon bleu sounds really interesting, so that's what I've ordered. Mom was looking at the spaghetti carbonara and the rack of lamb. So I have the bruschetta. Emma has the oxtail soup. And Mom has the vol au vent.
It's good tonight.
It's different from the one I
Yeah.
had the other night.
This is a shrimp and lobster-based vol au vent, and it's really good.
Mine was crawfish the other night. Main course is here. I have the chicken cordon bleu. Mom has the rack of lamb. And what did you order?
The beef Wellington.
So tonight, for dessert, there's chocolate tart, pear flambe, coconut cake. Oh my goodness, I'm kidding. I'm not a big fan of coconut. The Princess Love Boat Dream, chocoholic cheesecake, warm Alaska blueberry cobbler, the French vanilla bean creme brulee. Preacher on Sunday tonight, the orange sorbet is the chef's sorbet. That changes every day. They've got vegan ice cream and the international cheese plate. I think I'm gonna do the blueberry cobbler. Desserts arriving. Emma has the pear flambe.
No, this is the vanilla bean creme brulee. I do have the pear flambe coming,
Okay.
but this is the creme brulee.
So that looks like
This is the creme brulee.
for correcting me. I have the blueberry cobbler, which I've had before, and then the orange sorbet. And Mom also has the orange sorbet and the coconut cake. Now, I didn't think you liked coconut.
I want to try it.
Well, good evening. It's now 9:01 p.m. I just finished the movie Big Miracle with Mom. It's actually set in Point Barrow or Utqiagvik. I think the official name is back to the Native Alaska name, which is Utqiagvik. But anyway, it's a story from the 1980s. It's actually based on a true story when the U.S. government, the Russians, and Greenpeace all kind of went together to save 3 gray whales that were trapped in the ice. It's an interesting movie. Mom liked it. Kind of made both of us cry a little bit. It's really sweet. Drew Barrymore's in it. Mom had never seen it before. I've watched it before and I really liked it, but I wanted to make them watch it again. Or I wanted to make Mom and Emma watch it with me, and I wanted to watch it again. So we just finished that. But I think now it's bedtime. Tomorrow we're in Haines, and we're really looking forward to it. So you guys will see us in another video tomorrow. Good night!